Alright, y'all. This is a problem. A big, big problem.
I don't think windows are supposed to do that.
You see all the glue right here. I'm going to have to peel that off, or Matthew's going to peel it off. This is the second... No, this is the first... We fixed this window before. It broke like 4 weeks ago, and it lasted a month. And this was supposed to be some marine industrial type glue. So now I think we're going... And he had to fix another...
And it was recommended to us by other people.
Yeah, and he fixed the other window by the theater seating. Twice with this same type of glue. So I'm thinking we're gonna have to bring out the big guns and maybe try Gorilla Glue
or something.
Let us know, have you had this problem? See here, we did it like that so we know that the window is still broke.
It's some marine grade silicone adhesive, so don't recommend that because it doesn't work. And
I'm wondering if we should just use Gorilla Glue or something. I want something that's gonna stay attached so it doesn't fall out of this. It just makes this loud boom noise. I'm like, what the, it's a problem because I love my windows open, and right now the wind's blowing and I can't have that breeze. But we are heading into summer in Florida, so
where every day will be 90 or 100.
We'll probably just be using the AC anyways. But in the morning times it's cool and you want that breeze. But anyways, I love my windows. I want this fixed. If y'all have ever had this problem, please, we thought we had a solution. We don't have a solution. So please let us know what your solution is. Y'all saw the site tour month 1. Here is the site tour after being here 3 months. I mean, we never thought we'd be in an RV park 3 months in a row. But you can see a lot of people have cleared out because it's like Easter Sunday. It's April the 20th. And look how it has cleared out, y'all. Like every single one of these spaces was like full. And then look at that. It's like the mass exodus. And there's still some of us here willing to suffer with the heat.
All right, y'all, here's Sean. She finally got time to get a haircut. We've been here for 3 months, and now she gets her haircut. She went to a fancy salon, and looky.
It came out looking like Marilyn Monroe.
I'm telling you, that looks pretty. Wow.
I said I want it cut up to my shoulders. And
that looks really good.
yeah, I got it cut, y'all, in like 6 months. So
and it only took an hour.
Yeah, well, she called me back about 2:05, but she said my hair is so thick, it takes a while to dry it. And then she wanted to make sure that as soon as I hit outside, it wasn't going to turn to like a frizz ball because we're in Florida now with the humidity, so.
It looks really good. I like that.
Thank you.
Do you feel like 10 pounds lighter with that haircut off?
Yes. Yes, which is a good thing because we're probably going to be spending our summer in Florida.
Uh-huh. Shorter hair, it's the way to go.
Yep.
Everybody tell her how good she looks in the comments.
So we had to bleach our fresh tank, and this is the third, refill, so it's just extra water, like the last 1/3 coming out. So that's what we're doing. It took us like 12 hours to clean it. How you feeling about that fresh tank getting cleaned out, Matthew?
It's about time.
It's been 2 years. We like to do it every year, but circumstances happen and it's been 2 years. How often do y'all clean your fresh tank? Cheerio! That's my new word. Cheerio! Believe it or not, we have been stationary. I don't know if I necessarily want to use the word stationary, but we have been in one spot for 3 months.
And that's crazy if you've been following us, because our record before this had been, what, 5 weeks?
I think 5 weeks.
But usually 2 weeks, sometimes a month if it's really hot and we need an RV park.
And here's the kicker, y'all. Just because you are like stationary or like stuck or you're not moving for 3 months, you're like, oh, thank Thank goodness nothing is going to break because nothing is moving going down the road. Wrong. We've had, as you can see, my window is still, I hope y'all can see it, my window is still not fixed. And then of course the drawer, but I think the drawer was showing signs as going down the road, but it still broke while we were stationary. And then
drawer.
Yeah, you fixed
the
that
kitchen
big drawer.
Yeah, we fixed it. I actually fixed something.
And speaking of projects, Matthew said he had a new project that was supposed to be my project, was the stove light. We went to Walmart. I mean, we're in a town that doesn't have like a lot, but it has a Walmart. And the light is so shaped uniquely, I should say, that of course we're not going to find the light. Why is it? I mean, everything is so unique. I mean, some things you can go to the hardware store and buy, and some things it's like, I just want a light bulb to put in the thing, right? All right, y'all, back to the reason we kept opening the windows up and down, moving parts, right? Is because we're in an RV park where it's a monthly rate, but they charge you electric, and we have this lovely solar system, and we're in Florida, and sometimes it still got warm during the winter months. Now it's really warm.
Yeah, really warm.
And so we would, as long as we could, if the temperatures mainly never got up into the 80s, we would just open all the windows, have our fans on and stuff. And that, I mean, our second electric bill was only $25.
I don't have any idea what it's going to be when we move out.
Yeah.
Not $25.
Because we've had to use the air conditioner more. So that's why the windows. And I love my window. All right, comedy hour. When we were on the Whole 30, we had to grill outside a lot, but the only time we had time to grill was on the weekends, and that's when the lovely Florida rain showers wanted to come, and we were trying to time it by doing, like, you know, we check the weather, do the hourly or whatever, and I'm like, it's not supposed to rain till like noon. So we get out there at 10 a.m. And then this is when the RV park was still full, so everybody probably watching, I don't know, we just think they're watching. And he's cooking and it starts to rain. I'm like, oh no. So I let the awning out, and the awning barely went over the Blackstone, but then the wind picked up a little bit. I'm like, oh, I don't feel comfortable with this. So I'm starting to roll the awning in, and then it's dripping on the food as it's going in. Right?
I closed the lid so it wouldn't drip, but it would have.
So we got it done. He got it all cooked. I thought he was going to have to finish it by bringing the food inside, but
we got it done because we cooked in batches, y'all. We cooked like for the week, like all of our breakfast stuff, not the eggs, everything except for the eggs, to make sure we had protein and all that stuff cooked it ahead of time. So that's what we're talking about.
Speaking of this RV park, when it was like really busy, I mean, y'all have seen these doodles, right? Dogs that are mixed with every kind of thing. I saw the best looking doodle ever, and I think we might have had it on a video clip on our Osmo or something, because we're sitting in the truck fixing to leave, and we happened to have the Osmo out, and I'm like, there she, I think it's a girl, there she goes.
Yeah, I think
and they were like, they would walk up and down each aisle, and then they disappeared, and then they would come back, but now I think they're gone for the season. So I never got a chance to talk to them because I wanted to talk and see what the dog was mixed with. It was so pretty. All right, let's talk about it. I'm sure everybody has had this experience, and if you haven't, you will have this experience. When the black tank starts to fill up, there is something called, I call it the geyser of doom. And Matthew thought, you know, I think we have a few more flushes, and so I went in there and I was gonna flush, and all of a sudden you could just see it was like a like slow motion. I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? He's like, you know, close the lid. But then I just immediately let off the pedal or whatever, and then it gradually went back down. But it was like, it was building up like a volcano.
You were fixing to have a bad experience. Has that ever happened to you where you let it go too long?
Let's hear your stories. Have y'all seen that? I mean, in the beginning, people said, "Oh, you know, it burps or whatever," and I'm like, "Yeah, I've seen like a little bubble, but this
burping
was like
isn't bad. This was
like
Mount St. Helens."
And I think it's happened to Matthew too while
yeah.
we've been here. I guess when you get in an RV park and you're just stationary, you're not moving every 2 weeks or whatever, it
Well, that's
starts
the
to get
thing.
to that point, right?
You get a little bit lazy in the RV parks because when we're boondocking, we can make it last 2 weeks and it never burped. Never.
Right.
It just doesn't burp when it doesn't get to that point because we're so careful. But when we're in an RV park, I'm like, I can do it tomorrow.
That's how it is, y'all. That's how it is.
I got lazy.
As most of y'all know, ever since day one, we have had the tankless water heater. And when we first got the RV, we just had issues with it where the temperature would just go up into the 140s, 150s or whatever. And manually, it's not even supposed to go that high. We even, Grand Design replaced it. It still did it. When we took it to the factory, they finally figured it out. They're like, if you have low water pressure, then it's going to be hard to regulate the hot, right?
Yeah, and when all that happened that she just talked about, that was in the beginning when Furrion first came out with them. So there wasn't a lot known by the technicians. Now they've had them for a few years. They know what goes on. It's not new anymore. So
we've been in colder climates, or we've been in parks that have had great water pressure. And when we've been here, now that it's starting to get into the 90s, the water heater's acting up again. Well, Matthew's discovered our water pressure isn't great here. It's 30 or below.
30-ish, 30 to 35, but we've had that before.
And we thought, oh, it's the filter. No, we changed the filter out. It still did it. And so what we did was we just decided to take a shower off the water pump. Just let it run with the water pump. It was fine because the water pump has really good pressure, so it worked great.
That was wonderful.
So all this to say, and he even called Furion to double check, and they're like, yeah, you have to have it. It has to be a certain PSI, and if it doesn't get enough water pressure, then it's going to act like that. So then you have to be in the shower and act like, how much cold do I need? How much hot can I let off? And,
And now, if you're watching this in a house, you might be thinking, you people are weird, because we do that all the time. And we've done it before, too, in houses, sticks and bricks, where you mix the hot with the cold. And it's perfect, right? You turn on the cold, you turn on the hot. It doesn't change. It's perfect.
Right.
In an RV, what happens? The cold overtakes the hot. And then if you leave it there long enough, the hot says, no, my turn. And then the hot overtakes the cold. It's like they have a battle. And you haven't touched the darn controls. It doesn't mix well. Does your RV do that? So it's not like you can set it and forget it. There's no Ron Popeil system here.
And here's a tip that we figured out. Instead of just throwing that water filter away and being like, okay, well, we did kind of have it for a couple of months.
We did, yeah.
Just run it off of the water pump first, and then you'll know, okay, it's not the filter, it is their water pressure, whatever. Because sometimes your filter can get clogged, and that can cause your water flow to be down too.
Yeah.
And the lifespan of a water filter, I believe, at least the ones that we use, I think
There are so
3
many
months
different
maximum,
kinds.
maybe.
Yeah.
So, and we're not boondocking anymore, so we're constantly taking showers. So that probably leads to the water filter also needing to be changed out a lot. How often do y'all change your water filter?
And what kind of water filter system do you have?
Right. All right, y'all, one thing that we started using, Matthew used to have to get the printer out and print out our grocery list because I'm telling y'all, we need a grocery list in order to go to Walmart, because if it's not on the list, we don't remember, and if we didn't have a list, we'd probably buy half the store. And so we decided,
both of those are very true.
we decided to use something called AnyList, which I'm still kind of getting used to. But what do you think of AnyList so far?
Not sponsored, but I really do like it. Totally not sponsored. They probably don't know we exist. We just found out they exist.
Yeah.
I think it's nice because we're able to make different lists. One for Walmart, one for Dollar Tree, one for this place and that place. You can change the category headings. You can customize. And for us, at least so far, it's been free. I don't know if it'll always be free, but it's free for now.
I was going to say, is there certain features you have to pay for? I don't know.
I'm sure there are, but nothing that we need.
I'm still figuring it out. I like that you can cross it off as you go through the store, and then you can uncross it, because some stuff you just get every week, right? Like eggs or milk or cheese or something like that. But you can hit your little microphone on, like you can click add item and hit your microphone. I'm like, how well? It does a pretty good job, if I'm saying so myself, with my accent and stuff. It hasn't really screwed up on much, but I'm like, oh, Matthew wanted some Worcestershire sauce, right?
Worcestershire.
And so I said, I'm like, let me do it. And I said, Worcestershire sauce, and it put Worcestershire sauce. It typed out Sure sauce.
Because that's what you said.
And then so Matthew, did it get what you said right?
Perfectly. I'm not surprised.
Anyways, I thought that was funny. But what is the craziest thing that you have spoken on your phone or any list or whatever, maybe in a text message? You really need to edit those text messages, because I'll get some and be like, especially him. Sometimes he doesn't even.
I don't go over my text messages very carefully. So usually if I text you, I'm texting a correction right afterwards, because I'm like, that makes no sense at all.
And with me, I know when people use voice to text, they don't type it out, because my name is never spelled right. It's spelled S-E-A-N or S-H-A-W. And my cousin, who I love dearly, my name is always wrong in her text.
Weird, yeah.
So after we got done bleaching the water tank, Matthew hooked everything back up, and our fresh tank was completely empty. So the next day, Matthew looked and he said, why is the fresh tank full? And then we looked outside and it started to like overflow or whatever. Now, what was going on?
So the P1 Nautilus system is a fancy word for where all the water goes into the rig. And you control it with little knobs and doohickeys. It goes to the fresh tank, it goes to the fixtures, that kind of thing. You understand. So twist it one way, fill the tank, twist it the other way just to use it from the city. So those knobs correspond with the plumbing behind the scenes, and that plumbing has seen better days. So when you turn a knob, you got to really turn it in order for something to be closed or open properly. So I guess when we had the water going to the fixtures in here, like you'd wash your hands at the sink, do dishes, take a shower, that kind of thing, it was siphoning some of it off into the fresh tank. Now that was kind of a cool trick, because I was going to fill it up and I didn't have to. But you don't want to do that, because you don't want to always have a fresh tank. So I figured out, if I play with it like a child and open and close it several times in a row, it finally stays closed or stays open or whatever it's supposed to do. But it's doable. We don't have to replace it yet, but there will be a day when that too will need to be fixed.
So that was definitely a conundrum. Is that
conundrum?
A word? Conundrum.
It took a minute to figure that one out.
Have y'all ever had that happen or heard of that happening?
We've had friends who have had that happen.
Yeah,
too.
We've heard of that recently, but they had a newer RV. That was just really strange that it happened like that. Another thing we discovered when we had to bleach our tank, you can't use any of the faucets in the RV.
Well, we knew that.
And so you need to have a park that has a shower house like a bath house or whatever. And so we finally got to use their fancy shower house. It's so cool, y'all, and I think I got video footage of this, when you go into the door and open the door, whatever, because it's coded, you put your code in, you flip the light on the outside comes on. So that lets somebody know someone's in that stall. But they also have, I think when you lock the door, it says occupied or it'll say vacant. But it's so cool to see the light shining. So now when we drive by and we see the light, I'm like, oh, someone's in there taking a shower or using the restroom or whatever. They have like 3 on each side, and it's very cool. It's right by the pool, and the pool's kind of neat too. Update on Matthew. He's still waiting to get into the second neurologist, which is May 30th. He has been calling every week to try to get a cancellation, and nobody's wanting to cancel on this doctor.
Must be a good doctor. So I'm afraid, I know some of you have wanted an update. That's the update. We don't know anything, so we have nothing to share. I apologize. Please keep praying. It means the world to us.
All right, the next question is, are we going to stay here for 4 months? Are we finally going to get to move on? The weather's getting hot, the snowbirds are going north, the rates are going down. What do you think?
And you know our history, so put your guess in the comments below, and we'll see if you're right.